Hello, greetings, whatever you prefer, maybe a long overdue Happy New Year. Brother in. I'm bored, very bored. This is why I've decided to come on here and discuss my dream updates for SSO, Star Steve Online, for those who aren't familiar. As the footage in the background makes sense, doesn't it? I have a few dream updates, per se. Most people in the community are anything but blissfully aware of how problematic Star Stable has been as of late. But now there's a really good thing happening. Competition. Other people are actually finally getting into this damned market of horse games. But I'm not a business or economics person. I'm not here to talk money markets and monopolies. I think updates such as these, if possible, with the absolute best as source code is in, would be greatly beneficial to keeping the game afloat, and at least getting a bit of money for myself. This year, you see, I don't plan to buy star coins. I have a life after all. I have other priorities. And I just don't have the time to splurge on my childhood game. But maybe, just maybe, I'll spend a dime or a few tenors if something impresses me. So, the first update I would like to see is greater pet interactability. It is no secret pets are ridiculously overpriced in this game, and what are they, other than an expensive little accessory? These pets have their own stories, their own descriptions, and sure, accessories of lore are really neat, but these are animals. And in promotion material, SSO often depicts a character interacting with a pet. Which, yes, is clearly stated not by actual gameplay, but it would be really neat if we could even just have a function to perhaps have a flying pet sit on a player's shoulder, or even to simply pet the pets. I think that with this there could even be some fun gameplay potential. Perhaps pets could be bonded with, similar to horses, or could be taught things to do with star coins, of course. Such as indicate to a player, for instance, if they're getting close to a rune tablet and needs carving. Maybe there could even be a potential to occasionally get some rewards from your pets if you train them to find things with star coins. Things such as food, small amounts of your chilies, maybe even just random objects you could sell. But this gameplay stuff is very ambitious, and considering the spaghetti code situation and performance issues, would likely not be possible as of now. I would really like SSO to make pets a little more worth the hefty price tag and be more rewarding, even if it's just being able to pet your cat or dog, or have your raven perch on your shoulder, or your horse's back in wild mode or something. I understand things like these require effort. Yeah, shocker! I know, but whenever possible, just a tiny update to this would be a very nice thing to see. Another update I would like to see in SSO is a revisit of archaeology. I think archaeology has the potential to give players a bit of gameplay, the gameplay they want. It would likely be a bit grindy in nature, but it already kind of is. Another thing archaeology is right now is severely outdated. It's not very appealing to newer players, and they are less likely to work with it, despite the worlds involved. I feel like a rehaul or another haul of archaeology would be the most appropriate when Dino Valley gets an update or something. An idea I've had for perhaps enhancing the experience of archaeology is crafting items and accessories. As a lot of us know, SSO is planning to do an inventory update this year. This could mean that in the near future, we could get options for jewelry, and more options our characters could wear. A lot of the things we get from archaeology are deemed useless and should be sold, but things like a mosquito encased in amber, and even old coins and pretty rocks, could be used to make necklaces, earrings, and much more. This would also be a great way to give Dino Valley more appeal whenever it does get made over, as it will create a basis for a progressive questline in which the player can earn rewards and all that. Star Stable has been getting pretty good at things like this recently, as seen by the Hollow progression update. If they can do that for Hollow I don't see why something similar can't be done with Dinosaur Valley and archaeology as a whole, if the resources are dedicated to it. However, this is an update I don't expect very soon, since this will require a lot of resources, and considering how long Hollow Woods took, it'll be a long time before we could even possibly see something like this in the game. Especially since Dino Valley is an entire area and is therefore larger. Linking back once more to Dino Valley, an update I would love to see is the return of the cultists in some way. Maybe a new group of people. Hell, maybe not even people, horses. The possibilities are endless here. Isengate has so much potential, but right now it's sitting abandoned. A sort of sad remnant of a better time. With the aforementioned Dino Valley update, I think that a questline that focuses more on what's going on in the Isengate and the cultists, or maybe this new group force, herd, whatever, would be really cool. If the cultists return, I think it would be incredibly fascinating to find out why they left in the first place, and what is causing their return. And more so than anything else, I would love to find out what lies beyond that Isengate. Maybe it is a village, or some sort of cultist city, which has its own home stable, horse races, and culture. Or maybe it's a herd territory, inhabited by a fourth lost Jorvik wild herd that had to flee down into the valley after a past conflict with the warriors or something. I wonder what feature these horses would have. Maybe they would all have pale eyes or paler coats, such as dilated buckskins, cremellos, white greys, leucistic / real white horses, or even smoky black horses or horses with diluted gene, whatever. Or maybe they would have pinto patterns, simple as that. I'm saying that I think this would be a very cool thing for Star Stable to consider. I'm not exaggerating when I would say I would be genuinely excited for something like this to happen. I am aware, however, how insanely resource intensive this would be. Now for a more probable SSO update, a handful of horse breeds. Icelandic horses are by far my favorite breed ever, but there are a few breeds I really love to see in Star Stable, because they do one thing well: horses. First of all, the Black Forest horse. I think people have been wanting this horse for years. This is a rare German light draft that originated from the Black Forest region. Is gorgeous, and I think having this horse in game would be absolutely incredible. Variation will be a challenge, as only flax and chestnut coats are registered within the breed. But seeing as SSO managed with halflingers, I doubt this will be a problem. Secondly, the Caspian. The Caspian is an incredibly unique breed of pony with most of the basic base coats. I'm talking bay, black, chestnut, but greys and duns have also been made available. It is believed to be the first so-called hot-blooded breed of horse, originating from the mountainous northern regions of Iran. The Wikipedia article I found out about this incredible breed from describes it as being tough, athletic, and nimble. Having another pony, especially one this unique and special, in the game would be a real treat. And finally, the Suffolk Punch, or the Suffolk Horse. This is a draft horse originating from East Anglia, and is again a fairly rare breed. It comes in chestnut, but in many shades of chestnut. It is a shorter draft horse, but incredibly muscular and stocky in build. I think this would be a good breed to have in game, despite its obscurity, for it has quite a history and is a fairly uniquely built English draft horse. It has also influenced multiple draft horse bloodlines, and its impact is undeniable. But enough from these three breeds I read about on Wikipedia and now have immense respect for. The final update I'll discuss in this video is swimming. Currently, you are not able to swim, unless you're on foot. That's not very realistic. I can understand why Star Stable has restricted swimming, but people get into locked areas regardless. But this game has safeguards for that anyway, so why not? I think that, even if it's for a fee of star coins, or is only available for a reputation quest, or when you've unlocked every area, I think it would be pretty neat to actually swim on horseback. It is a shame that recently I've seen a shift away from swimming. The updated Fort Winter Beach was no longer that special swimming area, the only one in the game. I could understand why it was changed to just be shallow water. I would believe technical difficulties and inconvenience played a role in this design decision. But as someone who began playing in late 2016 and who only became a starter in 2018, it's a real shame to see this cool little feature go. This does not have to just be horses though. I believe when SSO begins to work on the characters a bit more, and giving them more life, such as when they're able to eat food, actually smile, and even possibly jump, I could see a possible opportunity to look into swimming again. Like even just adding a swim animation and keeping the timer whilst on foot would be pretty neat. In conclusion, I would like swimming in Star Stable to be explored a little more. It's not really ventured into within horse games, and well, horses can actually swim. They won't drown unless they're wearing tech that could restrict their movement in water or under some other unsafe circumstance. Although this detail could probably be overlooked, as it would be too much of a hassle. Good lessons to teach, but way too much work. Seeing greater representation of horses swimming would actually be really nice, and give something SSO to brag about. Possibly. I'm not sure about swimming in other horse games. I don't think it matters too much though. But anyways, that's all. I'm sure you're probably relieved, and if you haven't clicked off already and actually watched this entire thing, well damn! Consider me impressed, because this must have been the most rambly, generic SSO video imaginable. I'm not going to ask for anything, but thanks for your attention. Seriously, in a day and age like this, attention spans don't seem to exist. Brotherina out!